Something is wrong with Dolly Parton, and she still has not told us exactly what it is. She posted a video to Instagram. She said she had some good news and a little bad news. She said she was responding well to medication and treatments. She said she was improving every day. Then she said the bad news. She described herself as an old classic car that had been taken into the shop. And when the mechanics raised the hood, she said, they discovered that the engine needed rebuilding. The transmission was slipping. The oil pan was leaking. The muffler was busted. The shocks and pistons needed to be replaced. She was talking about her own body. And then she canceled Las Vegas again. Her first Las Vegas residency in 32 years, already postponed once from December because of what she called health challenges, was now being canceled entirely because, as she put it, the meds and treatments make her a little swimmy-headed, and she cannot be dizzy carrying banjos and guitars on 5-inch heels in heavy rhinestone outfits with big hair. That is the reason she gave. Swimmy-headed. That is all. But here is what she did not say. She never told us what the actual diagnosis is. She mentioned kidney stones and said they had caused her immune system and her digestive system to get all out of whack. She said doctors were working real hard on rebuilding and strengthening those systems. But the specific condition, the one that has kept her off stages for months now, the one that kept her away from her own Hall of Fame honor when doctors told her to take it easy, the one that is powerful enough to cancel 32 years of absence from Las Vegas after she finally agreed to come back, she never said exactly what that is. Stay with me, because what happened to Dolly Parton in the 14 months before this video is a story that nobody has told in full. And by the time we get through all of it, you are going to understand why the swimmy-headed explanation is not the complete picture. Subscribe to this channel right now. New stories every single day. Hit subscribe, turn on the notification bell. Now, let us go through exactly what has been happening. March 3rd, 2025. Carl Dean died. He was 82 years old. He and Dolly had been married since May 30th, 1966. 59 years. He was famously private. He avoided the public eye almost completely throughout their entire marriage. He was not a celebrity husband who showed up at events and gave interviews. He was a man who loved his wife and chose to let her be who she was without making it about him. In 59 years of marriage to one of the most famous women on earth, Carl Dean remained essentially a private citizen. When he died, Dolly said she would always love him and always miss him. Now here is the first thing to hold on to. Grief is a physical illness. This is not a metaphor. It is documented medical fact. Prolonged grief, particularly after the loss of a long-term partner, suppresses the immune system. It disrupts sleep, appetite, and the body's ability to regulate itself. In people over the age of 70, the physical effects of grief can be severe. Studies have documented elevated mortality rates in elderly people in the year following the loss of a spouse. The phenomenon is real enough that it has a name in medical literature. Dolly lost Carl on March 3rd, 2025. She began experiencing health challenges serious enough to affect her schedule within months. She was unable to attend her own Hall of Fame honor later that year. Doctors told her to take it easy. Is there a connection? Nobody has said so directly. Dolly has not drawn that line publicly. But the timing is what it is. Now, here's the second thing. The kidney stone history and what it actually means for a person's long-term health. Dolly said she has always had problems with kidney stones. She made a joke about it. She said they dig more stones out of her a year than the rock quarry in Rockwood, Tennessee. It got a laugh. It was meant to get a laugh. But recurrent stones are not just a painful inconvenience. They are a marker of systemic health issues. Depending on the type of stones, they can indicate problems with calcium metabolism, with oxalate processing, with uric acid levels, or with chronic dehydration. Recurrent stones can cause scarring in the kidneys, reduced kidney function over time, and ultimately can contribute to chronic kidney disease. She said the kidney situation caused her immune system and digestive system to get out of whack. That is a specific and revealing description of a cascade. One system failing, creating pressure on other systems, requiring intervention across multiple fronts simultaneously. That is not a simple health issue with a simple fix. That is the kind of complex, systemic situation that requires months of careful management and that makes performing on stage in 5-inch heels with heavy rhinestone costumes genuinely dangerous. The swimmy-headed comment is important. Dizziness and balance issues as a side effect of medication in an 80-year-old woman performing on a stage are not a minor inconvenience. A fall on stage at 80 years old, carrying musical instruments, in heels, under stage lighting, could be catastrophic. She is not being dramatic about the risk, she is being honest about it. Now, here's the third thing. And this is the part that your gut already knew, but that nobody has said directly. Dolly Parton is 80 years old. 80. She lost her husband of 59 years 14 months ago. She has been battling a multi-system health situation that has kept her off stages for close to a year. She has canceled Las Vegas twice. She has been unable to attend her own honors ceremony. And she is still working, still recording, still running to Dollywood, still working on her Broadway musical, still working on her hotel and museum in Nashville. She is doing all of those things because she is Dolly Parton, and stopping is not something that appears to be in her nature. But she is also doing something else. She is preparing. She is building things that will last beyond her. The museum, the hotel, the Broadway musical. These are legacy projects. They are the work of someone who is thinking about what remains after the performances stop. The Broadway musical is called Dolly, a true original musical. It is scheduled to open in New York in fall or early winter of 2026, a musical about her own life, opening on Broadway at 80 years old, while she is fighting a health battle significant enough to cancel a stage residency 32 years in the making. She said she has been writing and reworking it. She is putting everything she has into it, even now. She said something in the video that deserves to be repeated exactly as she said it. She said, "Do not worry about her quitting the business because God has not said anything about stopping yet." But she said she believes God is telling her to slow down right now so she can be ready for more big adventures with all of you. Slow down right now, more big adventures. She is holding both of those things at the same time. The reality of her physical condition, which is serious enough to cancel a residency 32 years in the making, and the refusal to let that reality define the end of the story. She is still insisting that there are more big adventures coming, at 80 years old, with a slipping transmission and a leaking oil pan and a busted muffler. That is Dolly Parton. That is who she has always been. The woman who grew up in a one-room cabin in the Smoky Mountains with 11 siblings and a family so poor that when her father paid the doctor who delivered her, he paid him with a bag of oatmeal. The woman who left home at 18 to go to Nashville and arrived the day after she graduated high school. The woman who built Dollywood and the Dolly Parton Imagination Library and a business empire worth hundreds of millions of dollars from the specific combination of talent and humor and absolute unshakable belief that her story was worth telling. She has always outworked the obstacles. Every time something has gotten in the way, she has found a way over or around or through it. And she is trying to do that now. She is trying to outwork this, but the body does not always cooperate with the will. And at 80, after 59 years with the same man, and then 14 months without him, the body is asking for something different than what the will wants to give. The Las Vegas shows are canceled. The stage performances are on hold for an unspecified period while the treatments continue. The Broadway musical is still coming. The hotel is still coming. The museum is still coming. She is still recording. And the fans are watching. Your fans. The people who grew up with I Will Always Love You and Jolene and Coat of Many Colors and 9 to 5 and Islands in the Stream. The people who have loved her for 50 years and who are old enough now to understand exactly what it means when someone you love is 80 years old and says the transmission is slipping. They are watching and they are hoping. They are hoping the Swimmy headed is temporary. They are hoping the treatments work. They are hoping God has not yet said anything about stopping. They are hoping there are more big adventures. They are hoping. That is why this story matters. Not because it is a scandal, not because there is a villain, but because it is about someone that people have loved for a long time. And love means you pay attention when things are not right. And right now, things are not entirely right with Dolly Parton. And the people who love her deserve to have the full picture so they can understand what is happening and what it means. She is going to be fine. That is what she said. The good news is she is responding well. She is improving every day. God has not said anything about stopping yet. But the slipping transmission and the leaking oil pan are real. The husband who died 14 months ago is real. The canceled Las Vegas shows are real. The Swimmy headed is real. And the woman who survived all of it, who is still recording and still running to Dollywood and still working on Broadway and still wearing 5-inch heels in her mind even when her body needs to sit down for a while, that woman is real too. This channel is here every single day with the stories behind the music you have loved your whole life. Subscribe right now. Turn on the notification bell, and tell me in the comments how Dolly Parton's music has touched your life. Which song was playing at the moment you needed it most? Which lyric stayed with you? Drop it below. I read every single comment, every one, and I will see you tomorrow.